Good morning, Christians in Great Britain. I'm a South African and a British citizen. I've been here for about 12 years, and I listened attentively to Boris Johnson and Jacob Rees-Mogg yesterday during Q&A at Parliament. And as he was speaking about a new great British golden age, I couldn't help but be reminded of the previous Victorian golden age when the English fought against the Boers in South Africa. I'm a Christian, I'm not a politician, but I just want to share a few little thoughts with you today and, as a brother, share this with you, but also challenge you and challenge myself as I go about doing this. So I've been reading this book on Old Etonians, and if I look at Boris's confidence yesterday, the way that he was presenting himself, it just struck me. Robin Lane Fox is also Old Etonian, who speaks about a total crushing self-confidence that he was taught at Eton, and it's very similar, I think, to what Boris portrayed yesterday. A confidence, an ability to articulate incredibly well, but also quite forceful, and some people would probably think arrogant as well. That is something you get taught, of course, in good private schools. Nothing wrong with that in itself, but I did feel that there are some issues about this royal golden age that I as a South African find very difficult to swallow because of the history. Now, I want to share a couple of the little things. That age, the Victorian golden age, was probably epitomized in the colonization of Cecil Rhodes. And of course, they discovered gold and diamonds in South Africa, and then you had the Great Boer Wars. And here are just two things that Cecil Rhodes, the great empire builder with his charter company, said in his confession of faith. Here he said, "I contend that we are the finest race in the world, and that the more of the world we inhabit, the better it is for the human race." And then later on, he adapted his confession of faith, where he went further, talking about the existence of God. He's not sure whether God exists. And then he talked about how will we discover the plan. And then he says, first, look for the race that God has chosen to be the divine instrument of future evolution. And then he said, unfortunately, unquestionably, that is the white race. And of course, we know that he studied at Oxford. He had many friends and connections there and financiers and so forth. And then by the end of the Boer War, you had so much hardship and pain. And in this book by Ian Wilson, The Victorians, quite interesting book. I don't agree with him on everything. But I found the last paragraph in his discussion of the Boer War quite striking. He said, the Victorian age had begun with the erection of workhouses on home territory. It ended with a war which was no more than a scramble for gold and diamonds. The war cost Great Britain £222 million. 5,774 British troops were killed, 22,829 wounded, and some 4,000 Boers died in battle. He doesn't say it here, is it elsewhere, that about 28,000 women and children died in concentration camps, and Lord Kitchener didn't really care about him. He cared more about his dogs than about these Boers. He called his dogs shot, bang, miss, and damn. And then he finishes like this. The war was hugely popular in Great Britain. The reliefs of Mafeking and Ladysmith were the occasions of wild public rejoicing. The songs of the war had an infectious music hall brio, and Britain may be said to have won handsome returns on her expenditure. For her £222 million, she had won control of the richest spot on earth. Yet, as in a morality tale, she had gained diamonds and gold and lost something in return. A people who built workhouses at the beginning of an era and concentration camps at the end might have gained the whole world. but they had lost honor and soul. Friends, whether you support Brexit or not, whether you're a Remainer, I want to challenge you and myself as Christians in Great Britain that we will do everything that we can to spread reconciliation that we get from Jesus Christ, and that our focus will be correct. I just want to share, just to finish off, a verse from Matthew, the Sermon on the Mount. You know it so well, where Jesus says, do not store up for yourself wealth on earth, but in heaven. And then he finishes like this in chapter 6, verse 33. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of itself. Thank you for taking me these few minutes to listen. You're welcome to leave a comment. May the Lord Jesus Christ bless you this day. Goodbye.